नमस्कार, जय हिंद, जय भारत एंड वेलकम टू डेफ टॉक्स। दिस इज आदि अचिंत। हमारे साथ हैं तुषार भाई, जो दोबारा से हमारे पास आए हैं गुत्थी सुलझाने के लिए। होता क्या है, मोदी साहब ना आजकल फुल टॉस फेंकते हैं और वो भी रिवर्स स्विंग में। समझ नहीं आता लोगों को हो क्या रहा है। आज ऐसी कुछ बात हुई, भैया प्रेस ब्रीफिंग ऑन कैबिनेट मीटिंग। हाँ जी, हमने सोचा पता नहीं पाकिस्तान की कहाँ पर घंटी बजेगी, बट वहां कुछ नहीं, सीधा आके बोला भैया हम तो सेंसस कर रहे हैं और उसके अंदर कास्ट सेंसस भी करेंगे। अब मेल्टडाउन दोनों तरफ है, राइट विंग में भी मेल्टडाउन है, लेफ्ट विंग में भी मेल्टडाउन है। राइट विंग बोल रहा है क्यों कर रहे हो, लेफ्ट विंग बोल रहा है ये तो हमारा काम था। तो लेट्स ट्राई एंड मेक सम सेंस। साहब क्या कहते हो, ये हो क्या रहा है?
Hi, thank you for having me. Well, look, I don't know if there are people who were actually expecting the cabinet meeting to be followed by a press briefing where the government would reveal its plans against Pakistan. Then I really hope the gods of common sense greet them very soon. The government won't even reveal its non military options in the press briefing. I mean, common sense. Number two, caste census. अभी हुआ क्या है, कास्ट सेंसस पे जितनी बात हो रही थी राहुल गांधी कर रहा था। राहुल गांधी कह रहा था जाति जनगणना, तो एक एट्रीब्यूशन जो था राहुल गांधी पर हो गया था। और उसी बीच किसी को एक सिंपल चीज याद नहीं रही कि 2021 में द 127th कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट was passed by the BJP, which was about the subcategorization of the OBCs, which empowers the state governments to give more rights to the OBC, within the OBC bracket, to the communities that are less represented. This was the 127th Amendment to begin with. Now, if you're going to tell me that no, this is Rahul Gandhi's idea, BJP has taken the Rahul Gandhi bait and all that nonsense, please understand the BJP stand on it was always very, very clear. Even on the OBC categorization or the SC categorization, there have been hearings in the court. अब बात पॉलिसी की ना, तो पॉलिसी कोई फॉलो नहीं करता, बट ये तो 2021 में सरकार ने क्लियर कर दिया था दैट वी स्टैंड फॉर ओबीसी सब कैटेगराइजेशन बिकॉज वी बिलीव देयर आर कम्युनिटीज दैट आर नॉट properly represented in the uh, in the say when it comes to welfare and other sort of resources like reservation, government jobs, blah blah blah. पहली तो ये चीज है कि ओबीसी सब कैटेगराइजेशन पे बात हो चुकी है। दूसरी चीज, राहुल गांधी's idea of caste census. Please understand, when you talk about caste census, there is a thing called the triple test of the Supreme Court. One, it is about through a commission, through a dedicated commission by the state government, figuring out how many people belong to how many communities and what is the number there, which are more, which are less. Number two, the proportional representation idea, which is why BJP stood for OBC subcategorization. And number three, reservation not exceeding the 50% mark. Now, Rahul Gandhi fails two out of these three tests. He fails in the second test because he combines caste-based reservation with religious reservation. When he says Jitni Abadi Utna Hak, he's not saying that it's for the Hindus. He's saying that if there are 22% Muslims, then 22% Muslims need to have a proportional representation. He doesn't say Jitni Abadi Utna Hak for Hindus. He says Jitni Abadi Utna Hak for Indians. And in Karnataka, when the public work contract reservation was introduced, this was the reasoning that was given a lot of TV debates, even to me, by the Congress supporters, that look, they are 14 or 15% of the population, so they deserve some degree of reservation. My simple answer was that if you had to dole out reservation to Muslims on the basis of their population, that why did we create Pakistan or East or West Pakistan in the first place 75 years ago? It's that simple. So this is where Rahul Gandhi fails the first test. The second test which Rahul Gandhi fails is the 80% mark. Rahul Gandhi say the 50% mark, pardon me. Rahul Gandhi says we need to exceed the reservation by 50%. We need to increase the upper limit. The Supreme Court is very clear. There is a hard limit, no doing. You cannot exceed that limit. So when you talk about OBC subcategorization, the BJP stands for the region within the allocated bracket, the bracket that is right now. BJP is not talking about increasing reservations. BJP is not standing up for private sector reservations. BJP is not standing up for religious sector reservations. BJP is not you're not talking about any of the policies that Rahul Gandhi says, like equity, wealth redistribution, social justice, blah, blah, blah. BJP is doing none of that. And BJP's stance was clear back in 2021. I mean, we're talking about at least 4 years ago. Now, people are confusing Very, very different things. When BJP is saying caste census, it only needs the numbers to reject the OBC framework, which it stood for in 2021. Rahul Gandhi started his Jitni Abadi Utna Hak back in 2023. मतलब ये दो बहुत अलग चीजें हैं. राहुल गांधी बात कर रहा है कास्ट और रिलीजियस रिजर्वेशन की. हिज अलायंस पार्टनर्स आरजेडी, अभी बिहार का इलेक्शन आएगा और लोकसभा इलेक्शन में भी आरजेडी वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट रिलीजियस रिजर्वेशन. वी आर सीइंग इट इन कर्नाटका. BJP is not talking about that. Rahul Gandhi wants to take reservation higher. BJP is not doing that. Rahul Gandhi, even in the Congress manifesto of 2024, it spoke about private sector, it hinted upon private sector reservation. It spoke about a diversity commission to monitor employment, education, things like that. BJP is not talking about that. So no, BJP is not dividing the Hindus as the accusation is. उसको ही सोचना, मैंने कभी वीडियो पोस्ट किया, मतलब बहुत लोग उसको मिसइंटरप्रेट कर रहे हैं. दैट इज व्हाई आई क्लियर्ड इट आउट दैट राहुल गांधी's idea of caste census and BJP's idea of caste census, I mean, they're as different as North Pole and South Pole, right? So these do not need to be confused. Number two, you also have to understand that in states like UP and Bihar, now this is where the political aspect comes. Within the OBC framework, there are certain castes that dominate, that are more dominating when it comes to allocation of welfare, allocation of resources, allocation of government jobs, and the smaller communities get left out. In UP, it's very obvious which is that community, even in Bihar for that matter. So politically also, the BJP strategy has been taking the smaller communities together. For example, the Nishads, people who are very, very less represented, people who may not have that political capital as some would assume, but who are very, very important when it comes to turning small elections, marginal elections, say the MLA election, the assembly election. So this is where you also have to look at the political utility of how the caste census is being structured. Now, point number three. People are saying, तुम कह रहे हो बटेंगे तो कटेंगे, तुम कह रहे हो एक है तो सेफ है. अभी पिछले हफ्ते पहलगाम में जो हुआ, तुम कह रहे हो धर्म पूछा जाति नहीं. No one is doing the caste census so that you start voting on caste. सरकार ये नहीं कह रही कि मैं तुम्हारे से कास्ट डिटेल्स ले रहा हूं या ले रही हूं तो तुम जाके कास्ट पे वोटिंग करना शुरू कर दो. These are two different things. People are still fundamentally going to identify as Hindus first. They're going to ask for your caste, but they're also going to ask for your religion in the census, right? So where does it become about Hindu being divided? Number three. Number four, delimitation is coming up. It's imminent. The government has spoken about it, right? You think you can have delimitation without even factoring in how the caste dynamics are working across regions, especially across the Hindi belt. So I don't know where the outrage is, Adi, to be very honest with you. This is like the same. Someone is writing that Rahul Gandhi's policies are being passed. No, the BJP's policy was passed back in 2021. Someone is saying that, oh, this will be the death knell for the BJP. No, it's not. Someone is saying that they're not focused on Pakistan. It's a political, it has shifted the entire political narrative within an hour. Within an hour. So if people can't sort of deploy their common sense in understanding how something that was passed in 2021 will impact the process that will start in 2025, which will yield results in 2029, one really can't help it.
How does it also connect to NPR and NRC?
Yeah, all you need is a cabinet meeting and suddenly an announcement comes in that you have NRC. Look, when you are talking about NRC, it's not just the Hindus who have the caste battles alone. It's Sikhs also, it's Muslims also. We were talking about representation in the Waqf a couple of weeks back. And then also some outrage happened on Waqf by user, and that is when we last spoke. If you're talking about representation in the Waqf in the future, what is for the Ahmadiyas, what is for the Pasmanda Muslims, you're going to take the caste census. The Ishwani Vaishnav in his briefing did not say we are doing a caste census for Hindus. He said we are doing a caste census alongside. That's it. That's all he said. A caste enumeration. That's all he said. But people like to jump the gun. People like to just outrage and outrage and outrage. Look, either you follow up on a policy religiously, that you're following every step, that what's going on in 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. You can't just suddenly wake up one day analyze one single decision and connect it to the larger policy making. That's intellectually dishonest. And that is what is going on Twitter right now. And that is why probably we both are talking.
For me, the deal is this same thing happened. Remember last time हमने बात करी थी about that Supreme Court का judgment, and एकदम से लोग भड़के थे and this and that, and हम दोनों बोल रहे थे भाई पढ़ तो लो यार उसको एक बारी, कुछ भी नहीं है उसके अंदर.
Exactly, and the center also responded saying that look, Waqf by user has to go. The center filed a reply, and we'll have another hearing, I think, on May 5th, which is another 5 days from now, right? Again, the outrage. See, this is my problem with people who identify as the right wing, though I don't know what that really means. They like to outrage. They like to think that the government doesn't know as much as they know. It doesn't really work like that. I mean, all you need to do is do a Google search as to the policies that have been formulated by the BJP in this regard. It's no rocket science. Let me not sit here and pretend that, oh, what I'm telling you is some rocket science. It's not. It's just basic common sense, basic fact check. And that's about it.
Absolutely correct. Tushar bhai, thank you so much. Always a go-to to make sense out of these situations. Thank you. आपसे बात करके हमेशा अच्छा लगा. And it's let's make sure that ये information ढंग से जाए, and let's also ensure that भाई गवर्नमेंट ने जो प्लान करा है वो उसी तरह होना चाहिए. Of course, politics होगी, and we will deal with it when it comes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Namaskar. Jai Hind. Jai Bharat.
Thank you. Bye.